Hi there. Today in this video, we are learning how to factorize simple linear expressions. I'm going to start with a simple question and then I'll take you to the harder ones. So I've got my first example, which is 4x plus 6. Whenever you have been given the expression to factorize it, you start with the numbers first. So to check with 4 and 6, you always look to the highest common factor of the number 4 and 6, and the highest common factor of 4 and 6 is 2. So it means that we can take 2 outside the bracket. You open the bracket and now you see that how many 2 makes 4, which is 2. So you write down 2x plus how many 2 makes 6, which is 3. So this is the factorized form of 4x plus 6. To do the next one now, so we have got 25a minus 35b. So 25a minus 35b. First of all, we're going to check the highest common factor of 25 and 35. So highest common factor of 25 and 35 is 5. So 5 is the highest number which goes in both 25 and 35. It means that you're going to take 5 outside the bracket. To take 5 outside the bracket and then see that what would you have inside the bracket, you start with the first term and see that how many 5 makes 25. It would be 5a minus, then you check for the other number that how many 5 makes 35. So it would be 7b. This is the simplified expression for 25a minus 35b. To do the next one now, we are doing the same thing. Now we're going to see that it's not always that you would have a numbers to factorize. It could be the variables to be factorized as well. So w square plus 9w is the next question. To factorize that, as I said, we're going to start with the numbers. So because we don't have any number here, which means it's a number 1, the highest common factor, there is nothing common between 1 and 9. So we can't do with the numbers. Then we see that there is a w square and there's w. So for the first one, I can show you what's w square means. So w square means you can write down the w twice plus 9w. To see that what you can take as a factor, you can take one of the w from both of them to be the factor. So this is a w, this is another w. I can take this, the common w outside the bracket. When I take the common w inside outside the bracket, the variable I would have inside the bracket would be w plus, and from here, because we have taken w outside already, the remaining is just a number which is 9. So it could be possible that you can factorize with the number, you could factorize the variable, or you can factorize both of them. I'll show you one more example to do with the variables, and then we go on to the examples where we can factorize the variable as well as the number. To look for the next example now, so this is now we are having is a square minus ab. So we don't have any number here. All we see is we have got the variable a and b. The two different variables we are having is a and b. You can split the variable a by writing it down as a and a twice minus ab. You see that what variable you see in both of them, so you'll be able to factorize it. So you see there's a here and there's a here. You can take the common a outside the bracket. And inside the bracket, the variables you're having is a minus b. As I said that we can factorize the number and the variable both. So here's the best example to see where we can factorize the number and the variable. So we're having 8xy plus 4y squared. We always will going to start with the numbers. So there's the number 8, there's the number 4. So the highest common factor of 8 and 4 is 4. We're going to take 4 outside. So I'm doing with the numbers first, then I'll going to do with the variables. So once I factorize 4 outside the bracket, then I'm going to check that how many 4 makes 8. So that would be 2xy plus how many 4 makes 4, which is 1. You write down 1 or you just write down y squared would be the same thing. Now we see that with the variables, can we factorize anything? So there we have got the variables xy with the first term. With the second term, we are having y squared. So we know that the y squared can be written as y and y twice. So which means that you can write it down as 4, 2xy plus y and y together. Now you see that, can you take anything as a factor from here? Clearly we can see that this y can be factorized. Because we have got the y with both the terms, the first term and the second term, we take the y outside with 4, and the remaining thing we'll get inside the bracket would be 2x plus y. I'll show you now 2 more examples. Now, the next example we are having is 12x power 4. So this is the next example we are having, which is now the number of 6. Okay, to go on to the sixth one, we are having 12x power 4 plus 15x. I'm going to start with the numbers first. I'm going to write down on the side that what's the highest common factor of 12 and 15. So highest common factor of 12 and 15 is 3. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 3 outside the bracket, and then you're going to check that what you would get inside the bracket. So how many 3 makes 12 would be 4x power 4 plus how many 3 makes 15 is 5, and there's a x. Now I see that inside the bracket, to look to the variables, we have a common variable x. So this has got 4 lots of x and this has 1 lot of x. So to factorize it, the maximum I can take outside the bracket would be 1. So 3x would be outside the bracket. Now 4 is a number would remain that. Out of 4 lots of x, if you have taken 1 outside, the remaining you'll be having is 3 plus 5, because we had just 1 here which we have taken outside already, so you don't have any more of the x variable. Now going on to the next example, which is the last example on this topic. So 20a square c plus 30ac. I'm starting with the numbers first. So the highest common factor of 20 and 30 is 10. So I'm going to take 10 outside the bracket first of all. And now I'm going to check that what I'm going to get inside the bracket. To begin with, I'll see how many 10 makes 20 would be 2 a square c. For now, I'm writing down the variables the same. Plus, now you see how many 10 makes 30 would be 3, and the variables are the same. Now, we see that we have got 2 different variables, a and c. We're going to consider both the variables. I'm going to start with the variable a first of all. So for the first term, I can see that we have got 2 lots of a. For the next term, there's 1a. The maximum I can take outside is just a. Now I'm having inside the bracket would be 2. Because there were the 2 lots of a and I've taken a outside, one of them is outside, so the remaining is ac plus 3. For the second term, we had just 1, which we have taken outside already, so it's just c here. I'm going to look to the next variable now, which is c. We have got 10a already outside the bracket. We see that the common variable now is a c. To factorize c, we're going to take c outside, and now the inside the bracket would be 2a. c we have taken outside already. We're not going to write it down again. Plus this c we have taken outside already, so it's just be 3 then inside the bracket. So this is some examples on factorizing linear equations. And I hope you understand this topic from here.